Even if you're super chilled and great at staying calm in any situation, we all have those moments when we experience friction from those close to us. I know for me, this is just a normal part of life and it's totally okay as long as you realize that conflicts are not always bad. When we disagree with others, it's all too easy to simply get into an argument and fight for the sake of winning. However, identifying what type of conflict you're in can help you adopt a more effective strategy. For example, if you disagree with your partner about how to spend time together over the weekend, exploring compromises and considering their feelings will be more productive than telling. 1. Criticism. When communicating with others, be conscious about the words you use. Don't say things that may offend them or add to frustration they may already experience. Instead of saying something like, "You're so self-centered. Of course you forgot my birthday," they suggest using I statements to express your feelings. For example, I feel like you don't value our relationship because you forgot my birthday. To avoid any hurt feelings, wouldn't it be better to have this conversation now so we can reach an understanding? 2. Contempt. It's human nature to fall short of expectations. A good way to motivate people is thanking them and explaining how you value what they do. That way, they'll be more likely to take on the task you request. For example, a roommate can be tough, especially when they're not as organized as you are. All that clutter can feel frustrating, which is why it's best to say something about it before things get too bad, like having to ask them to clean up after themselves. But I'll appreciate it if you could at least make sure the living room isn't dirty. It might not sound like a big deal to her, but it will be easier for us all if there's no fighting. 3. Defensiveness. Sometimes we feel like victims and we want to go on the offensive. This is what we do when we feel like it's not our fault and we're dealing with a negative consequence. You might feel that your partner is spending money too quickly and it's a big part of the reason why you're struggling. They may be a help to you, but they also need to reach their potential and contribute more with the household bills. Regardless of how you ended up there, now life is difficult for both of you and it's messy. It may be tempting to place complete blame on the other person in a case of a disagreement, but it's best to own up to the blame and work together toward a solution. It might not be easy, but it is worth trying. Having a productive disagreement can be difficult if both parties are stuck on assigning blame. What do you say we come up with a solution to the problem of who's responsible to fill the car tank? It doesn't matter that it might have been somebody else last time. What matters is that someone is willing to take responsibility this time. 4. Stonewalling. When you are met with conflict, whether or not to confront it is a question that all of us face. Sometimes, the temptation is to not do anything about it and move on as if nothing had happened. In an important relationship, confronting the issue may be unavoidable. Let's take a break, just for a few minutes, and come back to the conversation later. Before we start to talk, I want you to know that rendering a verdict on this is a lot for me right now. How can we push it off until later? Even though conflict is never fun, it often happens. But you don't have to let it ruin your day or your relationships.